What are you doing? Are you trying to use your eyes to show your sincerity? I'm not falling for that today.
Then should I try a different approach?
Xavier, we're in public! What you mean? Hello everybody, it's Mimberly. Welcome back to the channel. Yes, it is finally time to dive into 2R yesterday. This was overdue like 2 months ago, and of course me being me, kept putting it off because I wanted to read through all the world underneaths before, and I didn't expect the main story update to come out this quickly compared to how I usually tackle it. So we are going to be starting the main story today. A lot of you have been screaming at me for it, so today is the day. Right, chapter 1, mission. I need to download a resource update. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, there we go. Now we can finally get into it. Right. I have read all the world underneath, so if I forget any details, I apologize. You know, I haven't got the best memory. At this long-awaited press conference, Val Sanatorium announced they would temporarily stop accepting new patients. According to the official statement, the rationale is that they want to focus their limited resources and expertise on patients with greater needs. Appearing as the spokesperson, Director Wicker takes no questions from the media and bows before leaving the conference room. Having escaped the relentless cameras in hot pursuit, Director Wicker feels satisfied. His mission is complete, and all that remains is filling his final report. Just as he relaxes, a curtain flickers in his periphery. A hard object is pressed against the back of his head. I recognize the sound of a gun.
I ask and you answer. So long as you don't lie, I can guarantee your head will stay intact.
Oh, I don't recognize this voice.
We can talk about this.
Where's Benedict?
I don't...
The lie that was said instinctively has barely left his lips as the sound of a laser weapon being charged resounds. Dictator Wicker bites the tip of his tongue. He uses the sharp pain to regain his ability to think and weigh his options.
I'm not sure, but he might be on an unnamed floating island.
The location?
It's a moving island. No one knows its exact coordinates. A person like me knowing this much information is already an exception to the rules. Please understand.
One last question.
Yes.
Is Stanley still alive?
Director Wicker feels as if lightning has struck the back of his head. His entire body, even his heart, feels slightly numb. Seemingly unsure of how to answer, he mumbles incoherently as if the question itself filled him with tremendous fear. A series of muffled gunshots reverberates behind him. Director Wicker's legs gives out as he falls. He clutches his head. Horrified, he stares at the reflections on the wall. The assailant who attacked him is forced to leave through the window. Their face isn't revealed, not even once. Footsteps approach. Trembling, Director Wicker turns and cries out in shock.
Benedict!
Director Wicker, you handled the press conference well. You lived up to my expectations. However, it looks like you can access knowledge you shouldn't otherwise have. Since you're interested in the floating island, would you like to see it yourself?
At the sight of Benedict's outstretched hand, Director Wicker knows he has no choice but to accept. The private aircraft takes off under the cover of night. It encounters a floating island that suddenly appears like a mirage. The aircraft lands and Benedict carries the unconscious Director Wicker into the island's only dense forest. He places the modified Director Wicker on a metal surface somewhere in the woods. Almost like a sacrifice, his body sinks into the ground. God. The platform quickly passes through the artificially constructed soil and enters a cold metallic interior. At the end of this journey is a vast hall. Inorganic light flickers and spreads. Electronic displays emitting cold lights envelop the area. Bright floors, curved walls, and soft lighting are constructed by holographic blue lines. In no more than 10 seconds, the space is fully built. Even more refined lasers interweave to form 4 or 5 human figures.
This is the Fountain of Oteme's latest achievement. It doesn't look impressive.
I need to know her hair routine because her hair is looking fucking fabulous. A figure walks around Director Wicker, loses interest halfway, and turns to ask another hologram.
Long time no see, Professor Lucius. You took so many things from my Gaia biotech, and this is all you can accomplish?
The Fountain of Oteme's core has nothing to do with your precious research center. Souls can't be shaped, and external devices are useless.
You're here.
Well, I recognize him. A new figure in the holographic space causes Linus and the others to fall silent. They turn in unison to show their respect. They appear polite and trusting, even though he's an old man on a hospital bed.
Don't pay too much attention to this test subject. It's just today's extra. Or rather, a medium.
The old man makes a beckoning gesture with his hand. The floating platform carrying Dictator Wicker slowly drifts towards him.
Have the new wavelengths from the Deepspace signal been successfully decoded?
Because I recognize him, he's the guy from the nest. The silence is abrupt, and the holograms remain motionless. It's clear they're well versed in concealing their emotions. Finally, the old man rises from his deep contemplation. Subtle ripples appear in his otherwise emotionless voice.
The recent disturbances in the deep space tunnel remind me of that starless night from over a decade ago. The night when the signal from deep space arrived on Earth. 2034. In that era when aerospace technology was advancing, humanity's ambition for deep space exploration expanded faster than the Big Bang.
I'm starting to think that figure at the beginning who ambushed Director Wicker was Xavier with a voice changer.
Institutions
I could be wrong.
competed to decode it. They all wanted to be first. The literary world dramatized it. Ignorant masses worshipped it. And they even created the Deep Space Academy.
Hey, careful.
But only our decrypted information is closest to the truth. Earth is about to experience a grand eradication.
He slowly exhales and forcefully suppresses his elevated tone and emotions.
Then the monsters appeared.
Wanderers.
Geomagnetic disturbances occurred, and mass extinction events were expedited. The warnings in the signal became reality, one at a time. The grand eradication is a large-scale elimination process. This planet wants to abandon us and enter its next phase of existence.
For over a decade, I have strongly advocated for the Fountain of Otome. I've dispatched the Farspace fleet to enter the Deep Space Tunnel's depths to avoid being abandoned. There were setbacks, but we managed to obtain the chess piece closest to her, to bring up 2034 again. Was there a mishap?
Okay, right, now my memory of the world underneath is a little fuzzy because I did finish it about 1 or 2 weeks ago, I think. I can't remember the exact date I finished it, but it was a while ago. My memory's not the best. So, where it says there were setbacks, but we managed to obtain the chess piece closest to her, I think they're referring to Caleb, because obviously Caleb's got the Turing chip in his head. And in the main story, obviously they grew up together, and obviously MC is from the Gaia Research Center, and Josephine took her in. So, I think they're talking about Caleb here, but then when they're saying to bring up 2034 again, this is worrying me.
To avoid being abandoned, that will only make you a dog begging for fate's mercy. Lucius, you're old. The gears in your brain are covered in rust.
Well, how dare you just say that we're old?
It only took a few decades for evolvers to evolve from mere humans. This proves
anyone
that
who can
in the
use an
future,
evil.
we can reach a point beyond our wildest imaginations. We can achieve immortality.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I understand the appeal behind immortality, and this is potentially a hot take, but I think immortality is overrated. Because you're just going to be watching everyone around you die, and as time goes on, you're going to forget your family, you're going to forget your friends, and, you know, it'll be too much information and history for your brain to handle.
Who knows if it's impossible or not? The Lemurians who escaped the last grand eradication are practically living specimens of immortality.
Raphael.
Of course, there are also the little ones who came back from the other side of deep space. It proves that some people found a way to survive. Planetary immortality only costs a few more lives, but it's still cost-effective. What do you think, Soren?
Aside from the decrypted deep space signal, there's no concrete evidence that suggests Earth will face an apocalypse. As for that unkillable monster in the N109 zone, we can't confirm whether the life form is truly indestructible.
Are they referring to Silas?
So how do we determine whether our persistence in pursuing immortality is a noble endeavor or absurd paranoia?
The deep space signal isn't an oracle or a prophecy. It's mercy from the universe's governing laws that wish to give humanity a reprieve. What we're able to decode are predetermined facts already set in stone.
I'm gonna let it auto.
That evidence you want, it's already part of this world.
The voice acting's really good, I must say. He raises his hand, violently I can't read that fast in bold! Jesus Christ! The one time I put it in auto. He raises his hand, violently fluctuating metaflux envelops the man bound on the platform. The transformation is completed instantly. A wanderer replaces the human shell, only to be killed moments later by hidden weapons. Rest in peace, Director Wicker. You shall not be missed. A crisp metallic chime accompanies the fresh protocore as it falls onto the platform.
Protocores are one of the most powerful pieces of evidence.
Yeah, and Silas keeps taking them to modify them.
After the Chrono Rift catastrophe, I discovered the connection between protocore energy and her. I knew what kind of mission the universe gave me. Using protocores to accelerate human civilization's development and allowing humanity to achieve an immortality that aligns with this process. Only then can we survive the grand eradication with little to no losses. The anomalies caused by the deep space tunnel are becoming more frequent. Protocores are always guiding us.
The protocore trembles and rolls into a container that extends beneath the platform. Soren makes several gestures in the air. The rhombic container activates the protocore as if it's establishing a connection with some distant space. A rift that's shorter than a finger opens in the air. It closes as quickly, or it quickly closes as soon as its energy is depleted.
Recently, the frequency of spatial anomalies and magnetic field disturbances has almost reached the edge of time and space. Once a planet gets swept into that, complete disintegration will soon arrive.
Did you come up with another way to deal with your former teammate? I hope we can defeat your little prince and prove to him that our Soren is the most capable one.
If I remember correctly, they're referring to Xavier here.
Matters involving the backtrackers aren't to be taken lightly.
What did I just say? I remember some things!
Do you need our assistance?
I've had enough of those disgusting manipulation tactics you use on your brainwashed test subjects.
Caleb!
I don't need any help, and I don't need anyone's approval. I will make Xavier fall because of the hypocrisy, arrogance, and impracticality he clings to.
Okay, I may not be the biggest Xavier fan. I'm not exactly screaming every time he gets a card, because half of the time I'm scared he's going to get me demonetized. But I don't think Xavier's that stupid, mate.
That outcome will be enough to prove I'm correct.
No.
Alright.
Sorry, I'm being sarcastic.
In any case, they don't actually care about your personal matters.
Okay, family is now speaking sense. Several hoarse, irregular coughs ring out like a broken clock. It creates a rhythmic agitation that makes hearts flutter.
The deep space tunnel is closing in, and the cage is tightening its grip. It's time to bring her back to us.
Oh, fuck no.
Be careful, and try not to let the emissary truly awaken. Our most important hope mustn't be erased.
Soren's image flickers and disappears, and the meeting ends.
I wish you all the best.
The holograms scatter and fade away as the cold laboratory's walls dissolve. The scene of clouds dyed in the sunset's colors replaces it. An empty hospital bed hovers above the clouds. It chooses to decay with the twilight rather than surrender to the night. Whew! Okay then. So we're doing Xavier first, huh? I'm not complaining. Raphael choking me is gonna have to just wait. That's fine. Here we go. Tires scrape the ground and whip up the wind. A brand new 470 HM carries me across the Mimberly Bridge that's located above the city.
The magnetic field at the incident site shows coupled fluctuations, but the wanderers who correspond to them are nowhere to be found. It might be a new type. Be careful.
Copy that. I'm 5 kilometers away from my destination. I'm ready to do some dynamic data collection.
Lincoln City phasing through things, dimensional ruptures, space-time rifts. Our missions have been weird lately. Everyone was spooked by that snowfall that happened outside of winter. They're jumpy now.
When the world is too peaceful, people tend to find their own sources of entertainment.
There are 500 missions every day. You might be entertained, but I'm not.
Okay, don't be glum. I'll buy you a soda to sweeten your day when we get back. After my call with the data analysis team ends, I look at the sky near the mission site. The clouds stretching out for kilometers appear as if they've been sliced by a giant blade. The cut looks clean. Is Lincoln Online glitching again? It looks beautiful though. As the snow that fell outside of winter melts, the recent Alterum incident is slowly forgotten by the public. However, unusual celestial phenomena pulled back the curtain on apocalyptic fears in people's hearts. Afterwards, anomalies, both big and small, arrive one after another. They're accompanied by rampant rumors such as the Deepspace tunnel expansion theory, the 6th mass extinction event, and the great human catastrophe of 2099. Aside from burdening deep space hunters and evil police with countless unnecessary tasks, these rumors injected plenty of chaotic entertainment into the otherwise mundane lives of Lincoln residents. The only reassuring thing here is that Zane hasn't shown any more abnormalities. I miss Zane, man. But I know his troubles didn't end just because that Fountain of Otome press conference was cancelled. Benedict is continuing this plan behind the scenes again. Perhaps Zane's confrontation with them has also temporarily moved below the surface. Ever since we parted ways at the cemetery, he's been visiting the Factual Library more frequently. Maybe he's trying to find a solution to his dilemma in the world of books. I've read up on the Factual Library, so I know about this. That strange boy with white hair told me all about all of this. He called himself Shibai. He somehow got an electronic watch. When he's not using it to explore the novel world of the internet, he confides in me using what he calls irrelevant words. For example, the emissary is hiding in the maze of bookshelves and ignoring everyone. The emissary is pulling all-nighters again. The emissary only orders milk tea for himself. He doesn't ask if I want anything. At least the Factual Library can assess the internet. Cool. Okay. I turn off the motorcycle's engine when I reach my destination. I refocus, remove my helmet, and approach the edge of a buzzing crowd. On-site dynamic data collection will take 30 seconds. I'll check the records from the nearby stabilizer. The fluctuation amplitude has been normal for the past 3 days. Whenever those coupled fluctuations appear, they coincide with protocored transport vehicles passing through.
This falls under normal interference. Dynamic data retrieval complete. Hold on. The results from advanced tech labs are back. There is a 0.51% chance of a wanderer appearing.
Yay!
Great. That's one more false alarm to our list. A lot of rare phenomena are just astronomical occurrences. We're probably paranoid.
That's a good thing. A false alarm is better than the actual thing. Since the data has been verified, I'll close the case. There you go. Special Task Force. Wide range protofield anomalies detected in Lemurius Diaz district. Immediate on-site confirmation.
Please don't block the area. The Special Task Force will confirm if this is related to highly dangerous evolvers. Deep Space hunters are on their way.
Sup, bitch? I'm already here.
Hey, don't use this as an excuse to stand on the trash can. Otto, the city inspector, will photograph and record everything.
Of course Otto will, because Otto is a legend. Pushing through the crowd, I pass through the light barrier the Special Task Force is set up. When I turn my head, I lock eyes with the officer on duty. It's you again! That's all that it said to both of us. Well then. Well, this is certainly an interesting turn for events, isn't it? Familiar stranger. God, this is really pushing me about my brain knowledge here.
This is the 5th time we've been assigned to the same mission, right? What a coincidence.
After evacuating the crowd and finishing our mission, the officer and I crack open energy drinks for each other outside a convenience store. After the last Altarian-related incident, your department and our association have been doing a long-term joint operation. We'll probably keep running into each other.
They say it's to strengthen police-hunter cooperation and mutual learning. But I bet there are things they can't keep under wraps anymore. Did you hear? Someone saw a futuristic spaceship in the forest. It fell out of a space-time rift. The case disappeared the moment it was entered into the system. Don't you think it's suspicious?
Really? A futuristic spaceship? That's pretty sci-fi.
I already dealt with 5 anomalies today. I'm going to do 2 more before grabbing a bite to eat. What about you?
Oh. There's an extremely subtle disturbance behind me. It's like 2 bubbles rising from calm waters. They're followed by a trace akin to gently rippling waves that swiftly disappears. I look at the magnetic field stabilizer. It's not sending out an alert.
What's wrong? Do we have a problem on our hands?
It's from No Hunt Zone 39. There might be more to this than meets the eye. I shouldn't involve other people for now. I shake my head, and the words Xavier said not too long ago echo in my mind.
Based on my observation and analysis, particularly capable evil police officers are usually drawn to bizarre cases.
Oh, right, there's an update on that case we handled together. The one about the bathroom sink turning into pure gold. This time it was a toilet that transformed. A child's hand is stuck to it.
Really? Don't tell me I'm about to encounter an evolver with a golden touch. I'll handle the golden toilet case. I can keep going. Good luck on your next mission. Stay safe.
Once the officer's figure disappears into the distance, I pull out my phone and send a voice message to a familiar chat. Xavier, no hunt zone number 39 shows signs of a magnetic field overlap. I'm heading there now. How are things on your end? Yeah, that's right. You summon your husband. Well, one of your 5 husbands. No hunt zone number 39 was once part of Lumerius Diaz district. It's where a large expanse of high-rise buildings was built along the waterfront to get a view of the river. But when the Chrono Rift catastrophe struck, the natural beauty and value that humans... oh god, I need a coffee in a bit. That assigned to it became meaningless. It's said that no hunt zone number 39 wasn't supposed to be irrecoverable, but at some point wanderers began emerging endlessly from the building's overlapping shadows. It's as if a crack leading to some monster lair had opened up. The energy levels in the area significantly dropped later on and remained stable, and its danger levels are far below the average for no hunt zones. However, no one believes that no hunt zone number 39 can be reclaimed. Outside the perimeter, I've just parked my motorcycle when Xavier starts a video call with me. Hello?
Are you alone? And are you sure it's a magnetic field overlap?
It is. There's coupled fluctuations like 2 bubbles bursting one after another on the water's surface are obvious. This isn't a false alarm from the association.
I'll wrap things up here and find you. Give me 2 minutes. 2.5 at most. If you see anyone who looks like a backtracker,
I'll quietly follow them. You told me this multiple times already. You've turned into a worrywart with all this nagging, Xavier.
Oh. I see someone who thinks I'm always nagging doesn't want the results about the biometric key.
Ha! You and Jemiah finally figured it out? Tell me!
It's the same as the preliminary examination. We can't unlock it.
Excellent. Fantastic.
All we know is that there's an unknown substance inside. And it's not a chip.
You mean...
We can only go to Soren and see if he can unlock it. He's familiar with the old Gaia Research Center.
And you think that's a wise idea?
So you'll have to keep moonlighting for me behind the association's back.
It's a win-win collaboration, but you make it sound like I'm getting a bad deal. Unable to stop myself from grumbling internally, I poke his smiling face on the screen. Who would have expected things to turn out this way 2 weeks ago? Okay, so I need some context here. Like, what's the tea? 2 weeks. Oh, hello, Jenna.
Whether it's a rupture or instances of buildings phasing in and out, they're fundamentally related to magnetic field fluctuations and must be taken seriously. I know there have been many false reports lately, which makes it easy to overlook real threats. Everyone must remain vigilant.
As our briefing ends and the crowd disperses, I see a figure who shouldn't be here. Xavier? He shouldn't voluntarily. Is the world actually ending? I hear this music and I just get playful. In a usually deserted, quiet corner of the Unicorn's building lobby, I raise my arm to block that sneaky figure's path.
Fancy seeing you here, partner. We ran into each other in a corner. It must be fate.
Now, I would pin you to the corner, but we do have some business to discuss. This isn't fate. I'm cornering you and skipping the small talk. Xavier, you're at the association because his abnormal magnetic fields are actually a problem, right?
Yes. The issue is that the magnetic fields are abnormal.
My other arm quickly rises and I promptly cut off his escape route on the other side. His eyelashes are lowered and he doesn't speak. He just looks at me. What are you doing? Are you trying to use your eyes to show your sincerity? I'm not falling for that today.
Then should I try a different approach?
Xavier, we're in public! What you mean? As he speaks, he furrows his brow, his eyes showing reproach. His expression displays disapproval. I'm not falling for this one either. Oh. I love him.
Well, I guess I failed. I don't have another trick up my sleeve.
Come on, talk to me. How dare he? Fine, if you won't tell me, then I'll go ask our good friend, Jemiah.
I'm trying to find someone.
I turn and look at Xavier.
Soren. Based on what we know about him, he's most likely hiding in areas with magnetic field anomalies. And most of these anomalies may be linked to the Flux Nexus.
Oh, shit. Hot damn. Aside from hiding in magnetic fields, are there any other clues that could help us locate Soren as quickly as possible?
Recently, some backtrackers I've lost contact with have returned to Lincoln secretly.
Oh, God.
They left the backtrackers to follow Soren. I also visited Isaiah today.
Oh, God.
Back then, he left the backtrackers with them, and they all joined Ever. Soren's whereabouts? I'm afraid only Isaiah would know.
I've heard the name Isaiah before. I saw him at a psychiatric hospital too. At that time, I was doing a Wanderer defense seminar and happened to run into Xavier, Jemiah, and the person that they hid behind them. I just put my phone on silent. He was a strange young man who appeared to be mentally ill, yet he stared at me with a sharp gaze and said he knew me. According to Xavier, Isaiah had already escaped with a lot of Ever's classified information. He was on the run for a while. When they saw him again, he had already become dazed and confused. He also lost part of his memory. I haven't seen Isaiah in a long time. Jemiah must have moved him somewhere else. How has he been lately? Did he remember the grievances and entanglements between you? Does he still remember Soren?
He's missing.
What? Accurate reaction. Did Soren kidnap him?
I don't think so. I went to the cottage where Jeremiah had him staying. All his clothes were still there. The only thing missing was the Order of Lightseeker's uniform.
Oh, fuck.
He probably remembered something and wants to handle it in the identity he values most.
At the edge of No Hunt Zone number 39, a somewhat furtive figure flashes by. Those long robes look out of place in Lincoln City. And what's even more peculiar is, when he disappeared, did he take the Order Lightseeker's uniform and sneakers?
A pair of sneakers was missing from the shoe cabinet. They were blue.
MCC'd him?
You...
Oh, God. I immediately cross the perimeter and start up the 470 hertz. I chase after those blue sneakers. I see him! Hurry up! I need you here now! Or you need to be here now. Close enough. I feel like I'm about to get a lot of sass. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. My nose is so itchy. Ugh. I haven't got too much time to record today, so this is going to be a shorter one, but I will get this part done at least. The 470 HM races through the depopulated streets as I watch Isaiah dart into an intersection. He entered a narrow, winding alley squeezed between two tall buildings. Who knows where it leads? He wasn't in the best place when I saw him last time, but he's still a backtracker, so I shouldn't underestimate him. I stop at the intersection to think for a moment. Then I leave the motorcycle running and quietly get off. I'll approach the alley's entrance on foot. As I look down the intersection, I notice something hidden deep within the alley's darkness. This doesn't feel like a trap or an ambush. That fluctuation is inside. If Isaiah knows Soren's whereabouts, then maybe he fled here to meet him? I send the updated coordinates to Xavier and crouch as I slip into the alley. My combat boots traverse the dust-covered ground silently. Not even a single speck is stirred. I advance cautiously when my body feels heavy all of a sudden. It's as if I've passed through an invisible barrier. Flinching back, I find a soft glow suddenly filling my vision. Oh no. This is from the Lightseeker myth. What's going on? The narrow alley is replaced by a spacious stone street that leads to a plaza. At its center is a massive sculpture. I step back and turn around, but I don't return to familiar surroundings. The sensation beneath my feet is so real that it's undeniable. I experienced this before in the other magnetic field overlaps I've dealt with. In a park, a vintage stable appears out of nowhere. Stairs leading to a rooftop turn it into a mural, a well materializing next to a platform. But none of those anomalies were as vivid as this. It really feels like I've traveled into another world.
How long are you going to stand there like that?
That somewhat haunty voice belongs to Isaiah, who looks even more arrogant than he sounds. The well-fitted night uniform makes him look much sharper. And if you ignore his blue sneakers, he'd probably be intimidating. Unfortunately, they're hard to ignore.
You're being very rude right now. What's with that look on your face?
You're wearing blue sneakers with a white uniform, mate. Can't say that's exactly the best matchup.
If my night boots hadn't been damaged in the previous battle, I wouldn't need to dress in such a ridiculous manner. Jeremiah, the despicable scoundrel. He only gave me everyday shoes.
Wow, he definitely has grievances. Seeing that I'm not reacting to his complaints, Isaiah probably feels like he's talking to himself. Gritting his teeth, his expression shifts. He raises his chin to address me. God damn it. With renewed dignity, like I just lost.
Outside the no-hunt zone. I knew you'd respond to a royal homeland summons and come here. This is your destiny.
My destiny is to go get coffee because I am yawning like a bitch. I'll be right back. One sec. Okay, right. I am back with coffee. So now that I have completed my destiny of getting coffee, let's carry on.
And an opportunity that fate has granted me.
You look like a budget Jeremiah. What is this? A faint luminescence coalesces in his hand and it transforms into a short sword. He points it at me.
Isaiah, 5th Squadron Leader of the Order of Lightseekers, Senior Counselor of the Royal Council, and member of the Royal Family's last generation.
So would this be like a cousin or like a brother maybe to Xavier? So he's obviously going to be very important in Xavier lore, but he's kind of giving off the cousin that nobody wants to talk to vibes.
Formally challenges you to an honorable duel.
That can be arranged. You're annoying me. Hunters have rules. Sorry, Deepspace hunters have rules. I can't accept your challenge.
Are you treating me like a child?
No, but now you've given me the idea. It turns out that even the most arrogant person will lose their dignity when pushed to their breaking point. Isaiah doesn't wait for my response. As soon as he finishes shouting, he charges at me like an elegant yet furious goose. He raises his sword. Immediately, when I hear geese, I think of Untitled Goose Game, causing chaos incarnate. I move almost simultaneously. I'll create some distance between us and use electrical rounds to incapacitate him. As soon as the bullet leaves the gun barrel, my target has already flicked and vanished. He can teleport as well. Having seen Xavier's teleportation combat style so many times, my heart skips a beat. I pick a direction and
You're
run.
running away during a duel? You've changed.
I look back. Isaiah is now standing where I had been, his sword slicing air. He looks in the direction I fled to, and his figure flickers and vanishes once again. Enemies who can teleport are so annoying! Xavier's weakness. Ugh, what was it again? Before I can figure it out, a light flashes. Isaiah teleports to be just a few steps away from me. That's right, distance! If they can both use the light evol, he's still not Xavier. Only those who evol is as strong as Xavier's can teleport everywhere. Judging by Isaiah's evol, 10 meters is the limit. A strategy gradually takes shape in my mind, and I sprint at full speed toward the plaza. Go on, Mimby, use your brains. The traps I dropped along the way occasionally work. They electrocute Isaiah until he flickers like a malfunctioning streetlight. When I reach the base of a giant sculpture, I prepare to welcome a furious Isaiah into my trap. But he actually stops in his tracks.
Out of all the places you could have chosen, do you know what it means to duel here?
Following his arm, I examine the somewhat instinct statue behind me. The magnetic field isn't stable enough. The sculpture's upper limit is lost in a shapeless void, and the lower half isn't exactly solid. It looks like a sword.
Whether it's intentional or not, you've chosen to let this duel continue with the holy sword of the goddess as your witness.
Oh, fuck. Isaiah flourishes his blade, then he holds it upright in a formal stance.
I shall treat this more earnestly and give it my all.
Why did he suddenly get so serious?
You're not going to say anything? I know what you're planning. You want to provoke me so that I'll lose my composure. Then you'll exploit an opening. Let's see if you can still predict my sword techniques.
Meeting his calm gaze, I have a bad feeling about this. Blade strikes, each faster than the last, move closer step by step. When my heel hits the hard base of the sculpture, I realize I have nowhere to run. Clang. Ah! Thank God!
Xavier!
Before the light fades, Isaiah is already calling out the name of the person before him through gritted teeth. I mean, I hate to leave this episode here because this is a cliffhanger, but that is all the time that I have for today. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna split this up into a 4-part series. So we'll do 2 halves of each. Cause obviously we've got Xavier's now, and then we'll be moving on to Raffi's. So don't panic. I'm not gonna do one of those things where I release an episode then take weeks to upload the next one. I'll aim to get the next episode up by the weekend. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.